It is August 27th, 2020. We're here on the side of the property located at 9249 Irvington Avenue in San Diego, California, 92123. So we're on the side of the house right here, right outside the kitchen window. And we do have a 2-inch ABS clean out. We don't know if the piping has been replaced underground all the way as well. If it has not, it may become cast iron. We may have to switch from this 1-inch camera that we're currently using to a smaller camera to try to attempt to get through the system. So it appears right here, you can see we've got a little bit of suds there, but there's the original cast iron. So it's on slabs. We didn't expect it to be ABS, so they opened up the wall, and they just, when they redid the cabinets or reopened the wall just for the plumbing, they changed out the vertical, but the horizontal underground is cast iron, as you can see. Now right here it is nice and open so far. Now being the kitchen line, we are going to get some food and fat and grease getting in front of the camera lens like you see happening right here. So, and then you're going to find little areas like this that are going to be holding water. This is not going to be unusual because all those little ridges of debris you see on the bottom and sides of the pipe act like a miniature dam and hold some of that water. Only if it's held really deep or for very, very long runs would be then say there's an issue or what we call a sag in the line due to improper slope. But right now we are able to get through this pipe, so that's good because, again, typically with a 1-inch camera we may not get through really old 2-inch cast iron. But so far we've been able to get through. Got a little bit of clog up here again. We'll keep pushing through. It might clear off again. There we go. You don't like to run water initially in case there's anything else going on in the system we can't see, only if we need to rinse off the lens. So we can see that the path is clear. We are able to get through here. A little bit clogged up again. Okay, a little bit tighter right there with some debris, but it is still open. And looks like we coming to a possible T-junction here, or a little bit of pitting of some type right here. This might be where the laundry is dumping into the line. Not exactly sure. We've got this little weird pocket here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pause the recording for a second and run a little bit of water down the line to see how it reacts at this point in the pipe. Okay, so we turned on the cold water in the kitchen faucet sink. So in the next few seconds we're going to start to see water roll by this area. So again, we're not really sure if this is a T-junction. It kind of opens up down there, you can see. So there's that pooling of the water, and now it's filling up. So obviously right there you can see the water is draining out and down the system. It's filling up a little bit more right there. So we're hitting that little T area right there when we try to push the camera forward with the water running. So I'm really not sure what that area is. If it's the bottom of the pipe that's a little offset at a T-junction, or if there's something possibly somewhat corroded or rotted away at the bottom of the line, because the pipe, of course, is supposed to be at the same horizontal level with its natural decline of about a 1/4 inch of slope downhill per foot. But that little weird opening was kind of strange in the system. Now, as we back our camera up just a little bit, just to try to see the water still moving by our camera lens. It's kind of hard to get an unobstructed view of the water as it's going by the camera. There we go, just a little bit we can see right there as we backed up. So you can see the water's traveling down the line. We're going to get little waves of water in front of the lens, so it's going to look a little off. So it is open and functional right now, but we're going to have to go ahead and see what this particular area is that's filling up. So you can see as we push forward here just a little bit more, and we start to go underwater a little bit, and we've got that weird T-junction or pocket coming up on the line. So we're going to go ahead now and shut the water off to go ahead and see if this is kind of cleared out and see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see that the water is just clearing out. We shut it off, so in a few more seconds it's going to go ahead and stop. We're going to slowly push forward here a little bit more. Okay, that looks like we're as far as we can go, so let's see if this runs out right here. See how this drains out for us. Okay, so you can see that's kind of holding all that water right there. There's just a little bit still cascading by, but very minimal. Waiting to see if this is going to clear open back up. So doesn't look like it's going to drain out very cleanly. So from non-use for a little bit when we first got here, it definitely was open and visible to that weird pocket, and that's why we always recommend water not be run to first start, at least on the kitchen small line. The main sewer we don't worry about as much, but we now basically don't have a view, and again our camera hits at that same spot where that little divot was in the pipe, and we're basically not able to get by that location. So we can see that little debris hanging off the top of the pipe, which is what we saw at that little spot in the system. So we're going to go ahead and locate to see where this is at on the property, and then we'll move our cameras over to the main sewer. We may try to put another camera through here, but I don't think any camera is going to make it by this. It's not the diameter of the camera, it's that it's diving down into that little divot, which is something a little peculiar with the pipe right there. So we're going to pause the recording to see where this is located at. Okay, so we've located the pipe, and it's basically outside of the kitchen area already because we're about 32 feet out, and it heads right towards the hall bathroom that's downstairs, and we've located basically in between the tub and the toilet. So it looks like our T-junction that we passed was the possibly entry point for the tub, and so what we have running right now is the tub water. So that's why you see all this water cascading down around the pipe and camera here again. We're going to try to back up, see if we get a view, but unfortunately when you get a T-junction of one line dumping into other, it also kind of reverses back on the pipe a little bit. So as you can see right here, we can't back up and actually see the water dumping down in, but that's essentially where we were at. So you can see all this debris right here. So this is the spot where we can't get by. You can see all that little debris there. We got hair, cast iron flakes, just other little gunk. So this spot here is underground under the slab, and again it's in between the hall bathroom downstairs, toilet, and the tub. And we'll have to go ahead and wait to see at the end of the inspection if it somehow drains out and gives us a view again. But as of right now, we're probably not going to have a view again like we did initially, but at least we have that to start. So a cable would probably do the same thing. So that's the major concern, is that the bottom of the pipe might be rotted out, and that could have happened with just regular deterioration and age, or it could have happened during a hydrojetting or a snaking process that another plumber did on the system, and not of their fault, but of the age of the pipe, their equipment may have damaged the line, and so we've got that weird spot that we cannot get by. So right now the water, again, as you can see, is still running through. We're hoping it's going to maybe clear out a little bit, but I'm not sure if we're going to get a more clear view of what's going on with the pipe. But you can see right here that it's continuing down the line, but there's this little hump right here. So the view is actually pretty good right here with the cold water in the tub running. That's why we're not shutting it off. And so what the camera does is it hits the side wall of the pipe right there. It's not jumping up and over because it's supposed to be at the same level, but the little divot in the pipe, whether it was set that way always or something happened to it, is not allowing a clean continuation of the line. So as we let the camera sit here and the water washes off again, on the top of the screen you can see the camera's looking straight ahead and the water's running downstream, but it has to go up a good maybe even 3/4 of an inch or more to then continue down the line. So as we come back just a little bit more, it's that little divot into the bottom of the pipe. So you can see that the water, you can actually see it cascading with the bubbles and the churning straight down into there. So I believe what may have happened is that it's possible that the line was snaked or cleaned out one time, possibly with maybe a little bit larger cable cutting bit, and it came vertically down, just like you see the water is cascading straight down there with that little vortex coming down, and went into the bottom of the pipe and kind of dug it out a little bit and maybe even damaged the pipe. Now I can't say that for sure, but the fact is that we can't get the camera by here, but the line is functional, everything is draining out, and so at least it's functional for now. But if you were to snake it from the kitchen, again, the same thing may happen with the cable. It may get stuck at this position, could either further damage the line and the pipe, or get stuck and not be able to continue down the line to then actually clear it out possibly. So it's a slight possible issue on the system. We just cannot say for sure. So we're going to go ahead and shut the water off. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so we've now moved our camera over here to the front of the house. There's the front door of the property, and there's this 1 3-inch ABS clean out exposed right here. We don't have a double sweep, so this one only sweeps away from the house. So we'll see if they did put another one that goes back in towards the house. Otherwise there's no way to clean out the sewer if it backs up inside the house, because it's a 2-story home and you'd have to pull the toilet, would be the only other way. So we want to see if we have access with another clean out that's just buried under the rocks here. As we push forward, we typically would have seen the other clean out right away. We always put the double sweeps right next to each other. So it looks like whoever put this in did not do that. So they replaced this but didn't put another clean out in. So we're going to have to attempt to go through possibly a toilet bowl, because that was the problem. Since we couldn't get through the kitchen, we can't get into the main sewer that it eventually connects into. So this is all new plastic ABS pipe here in the front yard. And as you can see, we're coming up to what's called the property line clean out. So there may be another clean out coming up, but that just is a continuation of this part of the system. So there's the T-junction right there. That would typically be just in front of the city sidewalk. So we'll look to see if that is exposed as well, but we'll see if our camera can make this turn without needing access to that pipe. So you can see that they obviously just dug down just a little bit on the vertical and put that new plastic in, and then it converts back to cast iron. So we're hanging down right now at about a 45-degree angle or more, and we're going down this vertical original cast iron pipe here. This does look okay, no problems. All right, here's our transition. And now we transition into 4-inch clay pipe. So we're now going to push across this clay pipe. We're probably just past the city sidewalk into the frontage area, and then we'll be coming up into the street itself. This is still all the homeowner's responsibility. So not finding any issues though whatsoever, which typically with clay pipe, the only problem is usually just root intrusions. Okay, here's our little turn on the system, and there's the city pipe right there. So there's basically no issues with the clay pipe in the street and across from the frontage under the sidewalk. The cast iron that was left is a short vertical run that gets really deep to get to the clay, and that's not a problem. And then of course we have all new plastic ABS across from the original cast iron at that vertical drop back to this clean out T here. But again, for some reason they did not put another clean out in to allow cleaning out the main sewer if it backs up inside the house. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just double check as we come back in reverse here off this line here. When we come back into the plastic, I did not see a T-junction, but we'll double check one more time, leave it recording in case somehow we missed it, but I did not see one there. So here's our vertical turn here. We're back to the property line clean out. So a little bit of debris in our camera lens. So what we're going to go ahead and do is turn a little bit of water on here. Go ahead and flush that out on the system to go ahead and see if we can get our lens cleaned up on that way back. Again, just to double check. I don't believe there is a clean out, but we want to be 100% positive we didn't miss something. Okay, so that's getting rinsed off good there now with our camera lens. Let that water cascade by just a little bit more here. There we go. So on the top of the pipe, we would see another sweep, big entry point. We've only got a few more feet as we come back here, and definitely not seeing anything. We would also see a glue joint, a little piece in the pipe, and sure enough, nope, there's nothing there. So we're back out to the only single vertical clean out that was installed here, which only allows you to go away from the house. So there's no way to clean out from here to about the 5-foot run to the edge of the foundation, and then everything underneath the house. So we'll go ahead and see. We have a couple specialty cameras, see if we can get through the hall bath toilet. If not, we could attempt to possibly get on the second-story roof vent from the upstairs master bathroom and see if we're able to get into the main sewer from there. But we're first going to try here at the ground level. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so we moved here into the hall bathroom, and we have a camera that sometimes can actually make it through an entire toilet bowl and continue down into the main sewer. So we're going to go ahead and see if this allows us to enter the sewer here, since we don't have an access point with a clean out to get through. Here's the opening where it goes in. We're going to flush the toilet and see if that helps carry the camera into the line. So you can see we've entered the cast iron elbow at the beginning underneath the toilet itself. So there we go. We're now running across, and don't see a T-junction for the vent. So we run across horizontally. Here's a 90, or at least it appears to be a 90-degree turn. We're dropping down. You can see the water cascading off the front of the camera lens, so it's definitely a 90-degree elbow. Looks like this is the corrected horizontal line right here we're trying to make entry into. Now we do have the downstairs master bathroom back to back with this one essentially. So the way the plumbing is going to be with a bathroom directly behind here, there might be what we call double fixture tees or fittings that are going to make it really hard for the camera to sweep in the complete direction of flow without interfering with the drain that's behind this toilet essentially. So again, we'll see if we flush the toilet here some more, if we're able to get this camera farther down the line so we can get more of this inspected. So we're still hanging right there, as you can see, and it's just not going to make this turn. It's just much too complicated to make this many rigid turns. We've already gone through the toilet bowl and a couple other fittings. So it is original cast iron. We assume there's nothing else going on here under the house, but we can't view it from this particular spot. So we have one other specialty camera. We're going to see if we can get through here, and then we'll make an attempt to go on the rooftop with the bathroom of the master bathroom for the second level, second story, and see if that will allow us to dump into this part of the system. Okay, so we moved up to the second story rooftop here of the house, and we're essentially above the master bathroom here. We have our 2-inch vent, which we don't know if there's going to be some 90s on it, or if it's a straight vertical run. We're hoping it's obviously a straight vertical run so that we can go down, and there's a 90 there, because the toilet is on an opposite wall from where this vent is. Got a lot of cobwebs on our line right there. Are still going down the system right now. We're running it horizontally actually right now, a little up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second and clean off our lens so we can see what we're looking at here. Okay, so we got about almost 22 feet in, and we're going to go ahead and push back in here. The push rod's all loose on the rooftop, so the distance won't change. So this is all new plastic pipe. We're going at a straight down vertical run here. And then we make this 90, and then here's another quick turn here. We're still headed vertically down right now. And then here is another sweep. So it looks like we're probably in the horizontal run of the sewer here. So it looks like maybe this pipe is running instead of straight vertical down across the ceiling for a good distance here. Got a little bit of debris right there. So we're going to go ahead and pause for a second and flush some water down the system. Okay, so we're going to have the real estate agents that are here at the property flush this upstairs master bathroom second story toilet for us to see if water runs by where we're at, and then we're on the lav sink if needed. So, okay, so we could hear the echo from the vent, so we know it's connected. There you go. There's the water cascading by. So this line definitely the sewer line here. So we're going to back up on the pipe here. So this plastic pipe, just want to confirm that it's draining out properly and not holding any debris. They ran this horizontally for a while because whatever stud bay they had to get to run down to get to the lower level, they had to go across a little bit rather than straight down from the wall behind the toilet. So there's that turn in right there. One more turning, and then we're now into the dry part of the pipe here, coming back up the vertical vent connection that they created. So we can't get to the downstairs level from here. The piping's obviously connected the right way and functional the right way, but this is just not, unfortunately, allowing us access from this all the way down to look at the cast iron, both where this pipe eventually ties into that they had to open up at some point down the wall, and the rest of the underground that may have not been replaced under the slab and out towards the front of the house to the first clean out they put in. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so since we couldn't get through from the second story venting system into the main sewer down to the ground level and across, we'll try the same cameras we tried in the downstairs hall bath. We're now in the downstairs master bathroom. And we'll see if this camera can get into the main sewer and actually out and across from this toilet instead of the other one. See if we get lucky here. Here's where the china ends. We're going to flush the bowl. See if this helps with the camera through there. Not making its way far down the line, so we're going to flush the toilet again one more time to give it another attempt. No, it's just not traveling down the line here. See a little bit of weird water. Looks like this is plastic. We can see an area, it's a little wave of water there. So this is the 90. Okay, that's not getting down the line. We're going to pause and try one other camera. Okay, so we just want to show we tried another camera here. We're using our first camera. We went through the toilet to show this camera system. It's from the Netherlands, so it's kind of a specialty camera. So we just want to show the monitor here with our other camera lens because the interface is a little bit different. But anyway, you can see right there on the screen we're looking at the original horizontal cast iron sewer main directly underneath this bathroom here. So again, we're in the master bathroom downstairs, and that is the camera we have through this toilet, and that is basically the main sewer, but we cannot push across that. We can't get past that. We just drop and hit the bottom and can't make the turn. So here the push rod is in the bowl, you can see, and on the screen that's all we can do is get to that portion of the cast iron. Sorry, we're trying to swivel this around to get you a somewhat clear view of this. It's a little awkward. So as we come back up through here, we're pulling out that camera. It goes into the new plastic you can see right there. Runs across just a little bit. And now we're back into the bottom of the bowl right there, the china bowl. So we can not get into any of the horizontal pipe that is essentially from the toilet across here, running underground through the slab out to the front of the house. So we assume and hope there's no problems, but there's no way to access it. They did not put any cleanouts in the front yard for some reason when they dug it up to access the rest of the sewer main, and the toilets won't allow access and the vents on the roof won't allow access. So we're going to pause the recording and we're going to see if the kitchen drain line has dried out, the one area of concern, to see if that is visible again. Okay, we're going to go back in through the kitchen drain line here again. We also want to make note that the laundry is in the garage on this side of the house, so there should be also a T-junction on the cast iron where that's going to show it connecting into the system as well. We're going to go ahead and push through this. See, we're losing our view because the water we ran earlier and with some of that debris is just really inhibiting getting a clear view. So actually getting stuck here for some strange reason where we were able to get through this last time, blocking up our lens here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and try the smaller camera. Okay, we have the second camera in, and it's kind of binding up in this same spot here. So the line's open, but it's just not continuing down the pipe there, so we don't want to cause a stoppage on the line. We've already got this recorded dry and with the water going by, so I don't think we're going to see much else at this point. It's been too early since we ran water anyway. So we'll have to review the initial part of the video to look at that cast iron T-junction with a little divot in the bottom, kind of recessed on this kitchen as it gets to the bathtub area. We're not going to be able to get back over to it again right now. So that concludes the recording for this house, because we're unable to get any access into the main sewer line from any vent, toilet, or cleanouts to look at the cast iron under the house, under the slab for the main sewer as it leads into the front yard where there's the first ABS cleanout.